Welcome back again to Arinka's Kitchen. I have another family favorite recipe that I'd like to share with you. It's called Beet Vegetable Dish, CÉKLA FtomZELÉK. All you will need for this recipe is 6 to 8 medium beets, 3 spring onions, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 teaspoon of vegeta or vegetable base, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 500 milliliters of sour cream, a 1/2 cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of flour, and 3 tablespoons of margarine. So what you need to do first is you need to cut off the green leafy tops of the beets and wash them thoroughly. And then you place the beets in a large stock pot and pour enough water to cover them. And then you cook the beets until they are soft enough, and you need to test them with a fork to make sure that they're well done. And then you pour off the water and allow the beets to cool. And then you cut them into small pieces, and I've got some cut up for you. And this is what they should look like. Probably kind of like bite-sized pieces, sort of cubes. And then what you do is then you heat up some margarine in a stock pot. And what you do is you add your spring onions to it. I've got the temperature going at about a medium level, so I'm going to saute the spring onions. So I've used 3 spring onions, and I'm also going to use the greens of the spring onions also. So this is a great recipe for a main dish, and it can also be served with a really good sort of like a meat dish of your choice, kind of like hamburgers or meatloaf. I have a really great recipe for both of those, so you can check my website out. Or you can serve it with beef, but it can also be served on its own. So this is a great recipe for that. So I'm going to just continue sauteing the green onions and the garlic. Then I'm going to add the seasonings to it, and I'm going to add the vegeta and the pepper and the salt. So I'm going to stir this around quickly. And then I've got the beets, so I'm going to add the beets to this. And I'm going to continue stirring. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of water to that. And I'm going to cook it. I'm going to bring it to a boil. Bring this all to a boil. And then I'm going to add the sour cream mixture to it. So it's kind of like a creamy sort of a beet vegetable dish. So I'm just going to stir that around. So this was also a very popular dish with my grandmother and mother, and very tasty. This is actually one of my favorite dishes to have. On its own too, I used to like to eat it, and I still like to eat it on its own, you know, without any meat. So I'm going to add 1 cup of water to that, and then I'm going to bring it to a quick boil, and then I'm going to bring the temperature down, and then I'm going to add the sour cream base, and then also I'm going to bring that to a medium boil. So I'm going to make sure to stir that continually until it comes to a boil, and then I'm going to take it off the stove, and then I'm going to cool it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's actually ready to serve with, like I say, with a favorite dish, meat dish, or on its own. So I'll be back to show you what this great recipe looks like. And I just wanted to mention before I come back is that when you are putting the sour cream and the 1/2 cup of milk and flour together, make sure that you stir it thoroughly so that there's no lumps in it. It's important that you stir it so that the flour mixes well with the sour cream and the milk when you're going to add it to this vegetable dish. So I'll be back and I'll show you. what this great recipe looks like. Welcome back again to Irinka's Kitchen. I had on the stove some beet vegetable dish, CÉKLA FtomZELÉK, and I've added the sour cream and the flour mixture together and half a cup of milk, and so I made sure that I stirred that thoroughly to make sure that there were no lumps in this the sour cream mixture, and I added it to the beets, and then I brought it to a medium boil, and I was continually stirring it until it came to a boil. And then I took it off the stove and I let it cool down for about 10 minutes. And I've added it to a serving dish, and what I'd like to do now is to show you what this fantastic recipe looks like. So as you can see, it has a sort of a creamy texture to it. It's you can see that it has a beautiful color to it, and of course then the sour cream and the flour and the milk makes it has a creamy base to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this looks like in a serving dish or bowl. So I'm just going to put some into so I would use a ladle to do this, and I would some people take two servings of this, and I'm just going to show you what this looks like in a bowl ready to eat. Now this can be eaten on its own, or you can add some hamburgers to it. I usually put it in the same dish and eat it with the beets, or you can have it on a separate plate if you would like. But this is how I would eat it in a bowl, and then I would have my my hamburger or my meatloaf, and usually it's the recipes that I have from my website that I would use for this particular dish. But if you have a favorite dish of your own, even chicken, it can be served with chicken. You can also serve it with chicken. So I hope that you enjoy serving this wonderful dish to your family and friends. Until next time, bon appetit, jó étvágyat. If you have any questions, you can contact me at irinkaskitchen.com or Irene at irinkaskitchen.com.